Step off, hoser.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to a brand new and improved Canuckleheads. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Holy cow. I'm joined today by a very special guest for a very special topic that has not been one that we've talked about for a very long time. Have not had the opportunity to, number one, have this guest on the stream. And we haven't had much reason to really talk about these topics until very recently. But Stan Dahlin is my guest today. Hello, Stan.
Hello, Crumb. How you doing? Yes, it's been a long time, and we thought we would never reach this point ever again.
Right?
But
My goodness.
we were wrong.
It is great to be back. Yes, it is, DT. Welcome in. I see Ropets in there. Even Stan's saying hello in the chat. Doing double time today. But yeah, it's amazing that it's been what? Like, I mean, everything started 7 years ago, just give or take. Like almost to the day, which is weird. But yeah, so Anime Matsuri's been going pretty good for a little while now. They've been doing their thing. They've been doing normal stuff. And you got some fans in the chat there, Stan. Brainwell Brains says Stan the Man, welcome in. Light Blazer in the chat. Yeah, we've been doing, they've been doing their thing, you know, like I've moved on from the convention scene. Like, so I'm not as in touch with that stuff as I had been. But as far as I know, things were going great. Vic had reached out to me a little while ago because he had a spot in Fan Expo in Toronto. Unfortunately, due to my scheduling, I was not able to link up with him, and I feel really bad about that. But he's been doing exceptionally well from what I've been hearing. He's been getting dates in Canada as well too. So all of this stuff had seemed to, at least for some degree, really fell down in magnitude. Like really gone down in magnitude, and then
Yes and no.
Oh. I'm curious. So you obviously you have a little bit more insight into things. As far as I knew, his mic is very quiet. Let me turn Stan up here. As far as I knew, things were going all right. Stan, can you give us a little bit of an update of how things have been going from what you know in your?
For the most part, yes. He still gets dates and gets invited to shows and stuff like that. So, but the usual suspects still rear their ugly heads and try to cancel him as much as they humanly try.
And that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Yep.
I mean,
yes, they have nothing better to do.
You would think after they're getting their pound of flesh, that would be enough. You know, he did enough damage to them.
Never enough for them.
It's never enough, right? Who am I kidding? It's never enough. I mean, small update for people who had not been in our sphere of things here, like on my sphere of things here, on the Canucklehead side of things. A lot of stuff had happened, right? I mean, we had I had finished up with Kitchener Comic-Con. Kitchener Comic-Con, unfortunately, is no more. They've decided to rebrand and change to a different convention after the passing of the owner, Ron Hop. And yeah, Canuckleheads as a podcast, we kind of just took a long hiatus because there wasn't a whole lot to really do with it. I mean, we had a really good run with the program here. We had lots of good topics behind us, and I figured it was another chapter, move on with other stuff. And then here we are getting dragged back into things. Lo and behold, so it all happened a week ago, which was really weird. All happened a week ago when I get a message across my feed that Anime Matsuri was having a reunion of voice actors. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. You know, I see this. I'm like, I don't really get a whole lot of news from the convention circuit, but this one found its way to my social media feed. And I'm going to show that on the screen right now, actually. I'm going to pop that up on the screen right now if I can. 1 second here. Got to find it. So I got a message across my social media feed saying, we have a Full Metal Alchemist. There it is on screen right now. We have a Full Metal Alchemist reunion at Anime Matsuri. So John Lay, I believe he's the owner of Anime Matsuri. The fans ask for things. We try our best to make it happen. Most of the time, this is easier than said than done. Well, here you go. And so Anime Matsuri convention at George R. Brown. FMA Brothers reunion. Finally, after more than a decade, two brothers are back together for a reunion of epic proportions made possible by the fans. Come and meet Vic Mignogna and Maxey Whitehead as Edward and Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist at Anime Matsuri 2026. Do not miss this rare reunion. Celebrate Anime Matsuri's 20th anniversary. Now, this sounds like a fantastic thing, right? It's huge. It's a 20-year anniversary for Anime Matsuri. That's massive. Conventions are tough to put on, right? Especially keeping them successful at a high level like Anime Matsuri has been doing for quite a long time. And from what I understand, Anime Matsuri has been a pretty good staple in it's Houston, right? That's where they have it.
Yes.
It's like, from what I understand, like the Houston area loves this convention. It's a staple for this community, and it's been great for them. So 20 years, good stuff. Fantastic job for them. And I see this, and I'm like, this is actually really cool. Like it seems like the community's healing. It seems like it's a big thing, obviously, for voice actors to allow themselves to align with Vic after that stuff. So I thought this was a really neat thing, because obviously, it's a pretty big thing, Full Metal Alchemist reunion, whatever else. And so I thought, I'm like, maybe things are finally going well. Now, had you heard about this at all? Had it come across your feed at all that this was happening?
No. The only reunion that I knew of that was happening at this show, and it did take place, or is going to take place today, I think, was another reunion with Vic. And that's another show that he was a part of, which was Vampire Night. Okay. And so it was him and two other voice actors. So I know that's going to take place.
That's fantastic.
But I didn't know anything about this one. So this is probably one of these last minute additions that usually happens at conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah, because as far as I know, from what I've been able to look into it, because again, this just popped up, and I wasn't initially going to really make any big deal about this, because again, I had been kind of semi-retired from podcasting, not really talked about these things for quite a long time. And so I just thought it was a neat thing. I thought it was a feel-good story. I see this come across my feed last week, and then I'm like, all right, that's cool. Glad that it's going on. I personally didn't even realize that Anime Matsuri was this weekend until you had mentioned it. It literally has been so far off of my radar that this is how it's been. And so imagine my shock when I see what was posted next. I'm going to put that on the screen here in a moment. So I see a message come across, and now this was the message that I'm going to show on stream. It was not what it looked like when I saw it, because I think I saw what she posted on her Discord or something like that. But the voice actor for Alphonse, Maxey Whitehead, took to, I think it looks like Facebook in this one, but took to Facebook to post this message. And this was the literal next message I saw, literally probably a day or two after I saw the initial ad. Statement regarding my appearance at Matsuri. Unfortunately, I will not be attending Matsuri. My participation was subject to a signed agreement that included specific terms regarding how my appearance could be promoted. Those terms have been violated. Now that's a big claim, right? And as far as I knew the entire time, I had never seen her post anything regarding her contract or what she agreed to, or any sort of receipts regarding this. But with that aside, we have some more stuff to look at in a little bit. But it says, it goes on to say, the convention has promoted my appearance as a reunion with Vic Mignogna, which is false and explicitly prohibited under my contract. I notified the convention immediately and requested that the promotional materials be removed. Despite the request, the promotional posts have remained public. To my understanding, they still are, because I was able to actually I was able to find them on third parties. I don't know if they're still being promoted or if they were still there, because I couldn't find them at the time of this broadcast, but they might still be out there. They might have been taken down by now, obviously, because she's no longer a guest there. Because the convention has failed to honor the terms of our agreement, I cannot participate in this event. I sincerely apologize to anyone who's looking forward to meeting me. This decision was made because my contractual agreement was not honored, not because of the fans. Thank you for your understanding. What are your thoughts on this, Stan?
As a former convention owner, when someone says something about signed agreements, that perks my ear up, and I go straight to the contract. Particularly, it's with me, and this reminds me of another person that I had a run-in with a similar, but they weren't an actual guest. We had been in correspondence back and forth, and they basically started the conversation by saying, can we get a free booth at your show if we do an exchange, like say do a panel or some, because basically this was a cosplay guest,
of course,
or a cosplayer, I should just say. They weren't an actual guest of the show, but they were a cosplayer, a well-known cosplayer. And I said, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. And then it started getting involved. It got to the point where, like, it's we're finding it kind of difficult to get there because it's so far away. And I was wondering if we could get a little help in attending this show. And I'm like, no, that's not the agreement. So, I would go back to the actual contract signed and read the specific terms. And when she puts that up there, it just perks my ear, and I go, okay, let's bust out the contract and see what actually it says, because I'm quite sure that what she says is not what they say. And I would say, let's look at the actual written verbiage and see what's going on here.
Always important to do that. Now, I will preface, before we dive into more of this, I'm not affiliated with Anime Matsuri at all. I'm not friends with or associated. Yeah, exactly. Neither one of us. I'm not friends with John Lay. I don't know him personally. I'm not being paid or sponsored to make this video, anything like that. It's my understanding that actually, in response to this statement, there already is a plan for Anime Matsuri to have a response with somebody on YouTube. I'm not sure who, but I've heard rumblings that there is going to be an official response coming. I don't know when, but it is on the way. So again, I'm not affiliated with them at all. I have friendship with Vic. That is the extent of it, and probably my convention history is probably the only reason this came across my Facebook feed to begin with. But OCA podcast, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure. Who they've decided to link up with, but I did reach out to John. I did reach out to the convention to see if I could get a statement to talk about things. I was hoping to get a copy of the contract, but they did actually post the contract publicly on their Anime Matsuri page. So thankfully, was able to get a copy of that before anything disappeared. And we're actually going to go over that today with Stan. So I was able to get my hands on a copy of that. They're the only ones that actually still regularly talk about Vic updates, potentially, but there might be some bigger people that cover like anime and stuff like that too, or news or things like that. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I didn't get any response back in my request yet. Obviously, it's the middle of Anime Matsuri. he's got a bit of a job to do right now, and he's got stuff that he's got to do.
It's still running a con.
Still running a con at the moment, so I'm cutting him some slack. John, if you're listening, I forgive you. Okay. We'll let it slide this time. All right, we'll let it slide this time. But from what I saw, and this was it wasn't this statement that I saw. I actually saw John's response to this on the Anime Matsuri website, which is how I found out about all of this nonsense to begin with. Was his response was basically, well, that's not what I have in the contract. That's very interesting. He's like, oh, well, whatever. Anyways, moving on. So my guess was like he saw this, and obviously behind the scenes, there's a lot more going on. But his response was, we're going to deal with this later. I have a show to run, right? Obviously, this is something that's a point of frustration because sure, there's things that fans want to go and see at the convention. There's things that our fans are expecting and excited to see. Like obviously, Vic Mignogna has been a staple at this convention for a long time, and so what caught me initially, and I talked about this on like when I was streaming on Twitch in various times. What caught me initially was the verbiage being used by Maxey here, which was very odd. That she says the convention has promoted her reunion with Vic Mignogna, and which was false and explicitly prohibited under her contract. Now, you are a voice actor for a staple anime of the time, like something that if you were into anime, you were watching Full Metal Alchemist back in that time frame, and so Vic Mignogna is a part of that history, whether people like that or not. He is a core part of Full Metal Alchemist. You were a part of that with him, and whether you like that or not, that's going to be a connection that people make. Like regardless, if you show up at a convention with him, people are going to be like, oh man, there's the two Elric brothers. Great. Maybe we'll get to have a reunion. We'll get to talk about them. Regardless, like I have seen so many people discuss like, oh well, she was tricked into this, or she was forced into this, or whatever else. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that that Vic is going to this convention. Like this is basically his con. Let's be real here. Like this is for all intents and purposes. Like he is a mainstay at this convention like every single year. Like they've flagshipped him basically at this point. So you're joining a convention knowing this, because like it's very obvious in the region. You're joining the convention knowing this. You're joining the convention knowing that you share history with him, and that you're, because I personally don't know her other roles, if she's had other roles. Do you know, Stan, if she's got any other important roles? I didn't bother to look her up right at
she probably does, but I haven't really delve into it.
No, because like
I could.
You could name voice actors and it'd be like, bang, I know who I know who they do, I know who whatever else. Apparently, she does the voice of young Dende in Dragon Ball Z. She's the current voice of young Dende in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, stellar standout character. Definitely one of the marquees of the series. Sure. This is again, like, let's be real. This is her major role, at least from what I can understand. This is her major role. This is her claim to any sort of degree of clout in the voice acting business. So like, this is what people will know her for, and this is what people will go and get her autograph for, right? And this is basically what she's known for. And so to say that I don't want to get advertised alongside the other person who is very famously associated with the exact thing that I am very famously associated with, it's just asinine. It's like, people are going to do it whether the convention promotes you together or not, right? But on top of that, it also doesn't make sense for the convention to not advertise that, because obviously, why wouldn't you? So I thought this was very interesting, and she didn't post her contract to show the verbiage used. So I was questioning I was questioning this claim that there was an explicitly prohibited part under her contract saying that she couldn't be advertised. So initially I was disappointed because John didn't post the contract. And I actually did criticize that point in streams, saying that, if I was in the situation as the con owner, I would go scorched earth. I'd be posting the contract. I'd be posting the emails. I would be posting the communications. I'd be like, you know what? You want to try and defame my convention by saying this bullshit? Here's all of the receipts. Here is all of it. Now, I will give John credit because he did actually reveal the contract shortly after. So kudos to him. I hope that, because in comments under that as well, because he's getting criticism for certain things, under the comments for that, he also says that he has receipts that he's willing to share for the conversations he's had with Maxey regarding specifically the reunion and the advertising of the reunion. And so he's apparently willing to share these things. And I'm very, very interested in when he decides to do so, because Maxey just shared this and then that was it. Like this was the end, be all end all of it.
Yeah.
So I personally have dealt with a number of voice actors over the years, and I'm sure you have as well, Stan. I'm sure you have in conventions. I've
looked over her resume, and most of her roles are minor characters. So being Al is probably the only major thing. So and for someone to shoot themselves like this, you're not getting rich being a voice actor. So
exactly. Hey, Little Rocks, thank you for joining. She created a disdain in the environment by making a comment regarding her appearance at Anime Matsuri. I agree. This was completely not necessary, in my opinion. Completely unnecessary to make this kind of a statement. This is a kind of statement that you make to appease a specific group of people, in my opinion, right? I have had a situation where I've had a guest sign on, contract, great, everything agreed to, perfect, and then they get contacted by a third party that's trying to cause issues for our convention, and then twisted a story and then got that person to cancel. And now that person publicly went out and said, I'm not associating with them because of terrible, horrible things I've heard, and I'm going to be around the corner to sign autographs for people and blah, 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 blah. Now, they claimed that we didn't have a contract, which is complete and utter bullshit, because we have the emails, we have the contract, we have the agreement, whatever else. But the voice actors are not very intelligent people at times, from what it seems. And there's two ways to go about it, because I've had people have conflicting schedules and have to cancel because of that too. And then it's just like, okay, great. You know what? That's fine. In contracts, there usually is an out clause, because like if you have a contract to show up and like World War IV breaks out, right, and you literally can't make it to the convention, you can be like, I can't make it, I'm sorry. That is a thing in your contract, but you're not going to go to social media and be like, I don't like this convention, I just decided to not fucking show up, because that's a really stupid thing to do. That's a really dumb thing to do. Like, I'm sure, Stan, you've had situations where people have been scheduled and they've had some issue come up or like non-disclosed issue come up that they've had to cancel for, right?
Yeah. Yes. And like you said, there's always an out clause in your contract to make both parties whole.
Exactly.
Illness, death in the family, severe weather in your location.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what they refer to as act of God. And,
act of God is in there.
War, of course. That's very, very unlikely. But you still put it in there just in case.
Well, you never know when it's going to break out in this day and age now, obviously.
Now, it would have been nice if there was an actual date showing when this was, when she actually posted this.
Yes.
Because I'm quite certain that this cannot be the only thing that she sent.
Yep.
Because that would be really bad on her part.
If I recall correctly, I remember, and I think this might line up. I think she posted this, and someone out there in the wild might be able to correct me if they can find the exact post. I think she posted it on the 19th. It was either the 18th or the 19th that she posted it. Because I remember seeing the Anime Matsuri post around Thursday last week of like the 16th. And then a couple days later, she made this post. And it was something that John responded to almost right away. I think it's the only thing that she said. I think it is the only thing that she has said regarding this, which, again, the verbiage of this, it's very weird and it's very out of left field. Like, why would you center this around saying, oh, the convention breached its agreement by advertising me as a reunion with Vic Mignogna? Like that doesn't make any sense literally whatsoever. You could literally just at any point say, you know what? We've had a very private matter happen in the family. I unfortunately can't make it. I have a scheduling conflict, blah, blah, blah. You can use 1,000 different excuses that would save the fans, first of all, because all of a sudden you're making this about you and you're making yourself more important than meeting your fans, which it's like, this is ridiculous. You don't care about your fans at all. Why would you why would you say the decision was made because of my contractual agreement was not honored, not because of the fans? That is such a selfish statement.
Your selfish statement, and she could have. Yeah, I agree. She could have made it a different way, which would have saved her face as well as the convention. But she chose to throw the convention under the bus with this post.
Yeah, so chat is saying the initial announcement was on the 19th, and then she made this statement on the 20th. Okay.
Boy, that was fast.
That was quick. That was quick. I mean, if that's the case, if she gave them like a day to remove it, that's really disingenuous. Really disingenuous.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see whatever emails were sent.
Absolutely. I want to see the deets. I want to see the receipts.
Yep.
Because, like, honestly, like I've been in situations.
Right. If there wasn't any emails and she just posted this, right. Oh boy, that is. But then, in my understanding is her booking agent had commented.
Really?
Had also commented about this.
Oh.
So, and basically didn't take Maxey's side.
Really?
So the booking agent is supposed to work in behalf of their talent.
Yes.
And if my understanding is what Maxey did probably didn't even talk to her agent.
Oh my goodness.
Before posting this. And if that's the case, then that's even worse.
Ay. Well, yeah, because like, I mean, if I was the booking agent and she made this decision rogue, I'm not getting paid because my client did a stupid. Uh-oh.
Yep. Pretty much.
Uh-oh. Where have we heard that before? Wow. That's again, guys, this is very early. I wanted to talk about this because like
we haven't even got to the content yet. We're over.
We haven't even. Like, and I've glanced over it. I wanted to go over it in detail with you. This is beyond. This is going even further beyond. We're hitting Super Saiyan 4 at this point. Wow.
Got into the power up and we haven't even shot our load.
Yeah, like literally. Like we haven't even had the 5 minute power up scene yet. Like, what's going on? Straight to it. What is this? Dragon Ball Super? Holy cow. Like, good God. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, holy cow. She is in a boatload of trouble. Because like I've dealt at varying degrees. I've had people who have gone through agents. I've had people who did it themselves without agents. And obviously people that do it themselves think they know a lot more about contracts than they actually should do. And they don't, because they, number one, don't understand what a contract is. Most people don't just sign things and don't even think about it. But yeah, it's very, very interesting detail. And again, this is early. So Vic posted a video which seemed to be in response to it on July 20th. So that seems like the date. I remember the 19th being like an important thing, so that seems about correct too. So this is very early on, and I wanted to talk about this again because like I don't have my regular podcast anymore. Like I don't hold a regular podcast anymore. Maybe I should. Who knows? I just don't have enough to talk about. But this random stuff pops up. Here we go. Strike up the band here. But I wanted to talk about this because it was an important thing to kind of discern and to disseminate here because. Or dissect, because I know Stan used to run conventions. I used to run conventions. There's not a whole lot of like convention-minded people that are very open to talk about this type of stuff either. Because what we're going to show next, people going to show the contract and whatever else. If you've not like negotiated with guests, you've not talked with guests or managed them, and it's really difficult to kind of give substance behind what's all in that and what all of that means. And so. This, again, when I read this statement, it was like it set something off in my brain. I'm like, that doesn't sound like something that would be included, and we're going to take a look into that here. So I'm going to pull up the first page, opening page here of the contract. Dun dun. So this is through. I'm guessing it's Alave's talent booking. Agent Javier Chavez. If you want a book, there's his email. I'm not going to redact anything on this, but free to book through Javier Chavez if you want to. There you go. You have a convention, you have an event you want to book. There you go. Apparently, this person needs some money because he just got cheaped out of a ton of it. Appearance agreement. So this agreement is entered into by and between John Lay, the promoter, hereas known as the promoter, Maxey Gold, hereby known as the talent, collectively as associates, for a personal appearance by talent at Anime Matsuri, hereby known as the event. For good and valuable consideration, the receipt and sufficiency of which he is hereby acknowledged, the associates hereby agree as follows. Location, date, and time. Personal appearance by talent at a location, Anime Matsuri. It's in Houston, Texas. For the dates, she was going to be there all 3 days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 24th through 26th. Services, talent shall sign autographs for the time scheduled during event hours. Promoters shall allow talent time for reasonable breaks and lunch hour. Subject to talent's good faith professional availability. Participate in a pre-agreed upon amount of press and promotional opportunities before and during the event. That's an interesting one. Good faith professional availability. Participate in pre-agreed upon amount of press. That sounds like advertising, or social media posts. Maybe
I would assume. Maybe it's further down. Yeah, it's further down.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind. I thought they were combining things, but that I know of.
Okay. I mean, it seems pretty standard so far. We asked Vic the same thing when we had him. If we asked him to make a video for his announcement for the convention. So I'm guessing that's probably what they're referring to. Promoter requests talent representation to promote and announce talent's participation in the event. Okay, I mean, that's it right there. Talent's representation will share at least one of promoter's posts. Talent and talent's representation shall have access to green room with snacks, water, and meals. And talent will take digital group pictures and give autographs at no extra cost. This is only for volunteers, staff, and workers. That's pretty nice of them. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty standard stuff. I'm so far. I mean, the services are saying here just very, very generic, normal things. Pretty standard things to ask your talent. Hey, make an announcement. We'll promote you. Just get people hyped for you being at the event. Now, from what I understand, the announcement of the brothers reunion, whatever else, I don't know, because I was looking at some pictures and they showed some things, and then people were mentioning that Maxey never confirmed yet, and blah blah blah. But there is a signature at the end of this at the end of this, so she should have at least done one of these things. So far, I'm not seeing anything that Anime Matsuri had breached. And I don't know if your discerning eye has caught anything that I've missed.
No,
not yet. All right.
Not yet.
So, compensation. Talent shall receive. Let's open up the next page here. Compensation. Talent shall receive. Let me pull up that. I think I might have actually missed that one. Oh, I opened the same one twice once. I think it's on the screen. I just have to open it.
I don't see it.
Oh, you don't see it? Okay, no. I'm going to go grab it real quick. Does it? So on stream, does it show 5 in the corner?
Well, I can't see.
Oh, you can't see that one. 1 second.
No.
I'm just going to go straight to the source one.
I'm looking at it, but
so
I see A, B, C. So I don't know if that's.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, it would be ABC. Okay.
They broke it down.
There it is. Let me pull that up. There it is. Okay, I see it now. Autograph sales guarantee total $10,000 for the sum of a Saturday and Sunday appearance. A guarantee that means if a talent does not meet the $10,000 during the appearance through sales of fan autographs and photo ops, the convention will make up the difference by buying prints or providing items to be signed at the table at rate with cash at the end of the appearance. Talent keeps 100% of monies made during appearance. Public pricing as follows, subject to change prior to the event. Promoter will be informed. Autograph, $40. Premium autograph, $60. Photo selfie, $40. Autograph selfie combo, $80. Voice video recording, $60. Premium autograph selfie combo, $80. Quotes, $20. That's pretty good. Like, I mean, that's pretty good. In terms of like pricing, there's a lot of VAs and stuff out there that the pricing is like actually kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So for if people are, yeah, exactly. If people are a little like confused as to what this terminology means, so you can generally pay your talent or your guests in a couple of different ways or a combination of different ways. There's the appearance fee. So you pay them a flat appearance fee. They show up, and then you can kind of negotiate like a certain amount of things that they have to do for you because you're paying them to be there straight flat out. So you can pay someone, say $5,000. I'm paying you $5,000 for you to show up for this amount of time. You have to provide this many autographs for free, etc. Blah blah blah. And then there's what looks like here is this is a guarantee. So they're guaranteeing that the talent, Maxey, is going to make $10,000, which means like if Maxey does not sell $10,000 worth of things, then the convention will make up that money so that she gets at least $10,000. Now she makes over $10,000. That's great. She makes all that money, and the convention basically doesn't have to pay anything else. Generally,
usually the other stuff,
yeah,
which is later listed below.
Yeah, like the other stuff like that. But generally, it's the guarantee is much more convention friendly because if you have a talent that's going to be bringing in a lot of money, obviously the combination of them bringing in a bunch of fans to pay for their own appearance, basically all you have to pay is out of pocket is basically hotel and travel and food, and then the rest of it gets paid for by itself. And then you have all these convention goers that are spending money at your convention anyways. You're getting their passes and stuff like that. So for someone who's charging at the door, it's a very convention friendly thing to do. And you see this a lot in conventions. It's very, very normal to have guaranteed appearances. Now, some talents will also depending on the convention, they will just want straight money because sometimes they just prefer being paid straight out, or they prefer, or they're not convinced that the convention will be able to pay them at the end of it. So varying different degrees of risk on either side here. But obviously, Anime Matsuri is big enough. I'm sure if they have a guarantee for $10,000 and no one really wants an autograph from Al's voice actor, then they'll be able to make her whole anyways. So pretty decent pricing here. Like Fork was saying in the chat here, Troy Baker's autograph is $70. So we have someone who's a pretty known character for Full Metal Alchemist, but probably not as big as like a Batman or something like that. $40, pretty reasonable. So I would assume that she'd get.
Troy's got a better resume than Maxey does.
Tiny bit.
He can charge more. Yep,
tiny bit. But if anyone's like wondering what all that verbiage means, that's what that means. It's a very common thing in conventions. It's probably what I would say 99.9% of people are getting at conventions. Very common thing. So promoter provides 1 round trip gas reimbursement for talent to attend the convention and return home. Promoter provides no less than a 3-star rated hotel accommodation for talent during show appearance. The star rating reflects a hotel rating, not any mass survey or opinion websites. That's interesting. All room tax and resort fees will be covered by the promoter. Talent has the right to check out Monday. Promoter provides private transportation to the hotel airport venue. Transportation is limited to promoter event purposes. Talent will not have to Uber or use any other method of public transportation to get to the venue, unless the talent chooses to transport themselves. Promoter will provide talent with assistant, money, line control handler for the appearance duration. Basically, that's pretty standard stuff too. You're going to volunteer to handle your stuff. Sometimes voice actors will have their own people to do that because they trust their own people to upsell, things like that. But generally, basically, if you don't have your people, or you can't get your people to do it, then the conventions will generally provide you someone to do that for you. Pretty standard things. If a promoter sells any VIP packages using talent's autograph or photo opportunity, talent will be reimbursed the full purchase table price of the autograph or photo. All graphics must be pre-approved. Pretty standard stuff. Promoter must approve all charitable opportunities with talent prior. Talent will have the right to decline all charitable opportunities in the event that the cause does not meet interest. So that makes sense too, because it's just like if not all charities strike with people, obviously. If it's not something that vibes with the talent, they have a right to say no. I mean, this is all pretty standard stuff here. I think it's pretty decent that they're providing a 3-star rated hotel. They're providing private transport for them as well. It's pretty cool. And paying for the VIP packages that if someone buys a VIP package and it includes a free autograph from anyone that they want, basically, they're like, I want that person's autograph. They're going to pay for that autograph too. Includes so that's pretty solid. Pretty solid package that they're getting there. Now, what do you think on that, Stan? Is it pretty much aligning what you normally see?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it spells it out a lot more than I would, but of course they offer, they're a big enough show. They can offer more stuff. Smaller shows, medium-sized shows wouldn't offer as many items, but for the most part, I would cover transportation and hotel, and then probably if I don't have a green room set up for them, which for most people don't know that a green room is a private area for guests and guests only to relax and get a hot meal, and allows the convention to basically keep the guests close by so that they don't run off like certain people have done in the past, such as Crispin Freeman, who dragged off 2 guests from Tulsa, Tokyo and Tulsa, or something like that. I think that's the name of the convention, and basically ran off with 2 of their guests.
My goodness.
And didn't tell anybody about it. Until after they got back, and then they mea culpa. Mea culpa.
And that causes all sorts of ruckus too, because if you are going and removing guests that are not scheduled to not be there, and they have something pop up and they have
Yep, they were supposed to be at a panel.
They were supposed to be at a panel,
and no one knew where the hell they went.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's like the nightmares of running a convention.
Yep. And people wonder why convention runners are just so like high stress. Just well, after a certain point, you're just done with bullshit.
Yep. Or it could be like Magnum Opus Con in the earlier years when a well-known actor who was part of a popular series in Britain dies at your show.
Oh my gosh.
He was a Doctor Who at one point.
I can't even imagine. Like I can't even imagine the freaking nightmare that would be. Jeez. Magnum Opus Con. That's a pretty. I mean, that's a pretty apt name if someone's going to die at a show. That's.
Yep. Which made a lot of Whovians or Doctor Who guests very leery about going to their show.
I can imagine.
Worried about if they were going to be the next person to die at a convention. Of course, then you get all those running jokes. Oh, he died with a smile on his face, and I'm like, oh god,
oh my
please.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, anywhere to go, surrounded by your fans, I guess is the great place to do it. Sheesh.
Yep.
Good grief. All right. In general,
I remember at a convention. It was Dixie Trek.
Okay.
Early, a Star Trek and Doctor Who convention in Atlanta, and someone decided to pull the fire alarm.
Oh, and that's always a fun one.
Oh yeah, that's always a fun one. And this was an open air atrium hotel, and so everybody was like evacuating the hotel. And the guest at this show at that time was the actor who played the Brigadier.
Okay.
For Doctor Who.
Okay.
And he was down in the lobby, and he said, "Let's go to the bar." during the fire alarm.
Oh my god!
So yeah,
that's great.
Oh, fun stuff at convention.
That's great. It's those spontaneous fun things out of complete chaos. It's always it's always nice.
Yep.
All right. General, all photos to be signed by talent shall be provided by talent or attending fan. So like fans can bring in their own stuff, obviously. Talent shall not be required to sign any items that talent finds within talent's sole discretion to be inappropriate or offensive. We've heard this before.
That sounds familiar.
We've heard this before, right? Isn't that amazing? Someone would bring their own fan art of maybe the brothers getting a little bit too friendly with each other, right? That's that's something that we've heard of before, and talent refusing to sign it and getting flack for it. It's in the contracts that they can do it. I mean, this is the thing that's very, very common. Like, how often have you seen this clause in contracts, Stan?
I think it became an extra item after that happened.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I would not be. I could just imagine the ridiculous nonsense that fans bring in to sign, like just the absolute degenerate nonsense that they bring in. Like, not even just pictures. I could just imagine the insane things. Promoter agrees talent shall not be required to spend more than 6 hours at the event per day, inclusive a 1 hour lunch break and reasonable restroom and snack breaks. It makes total sense. You can't keep someone trapped there all day. But I mean, I know Vork brings up Scott McNeil. I remember seeing Scott McNeil at events, and he will be there for like 12 hours. Like you cannot tear him away from the event. Like there will be talent that'll be there for well more than 6 hours, obviously, but at least 6 hours is pretty reasonable at events to
Yep, Scott's a cool dude.
Yeah, Scott's a really neat guy.
Yep.
Really, a really friendly guy. He reminded me so much. Like I knew about Scott well before I knew about Vic, and when I met Vic, he reminded me so much of Scott McNeil with how much he was like passionate for the fans and passionate for events and stuff like that. It's just a different kind of echelon of voice actor. It's just wonderful people.
That reminds me of that time Scott McNeil and Vic were both at the same convention. Anime Central.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Anime Central.
Yeah.
And both of them decided to dress up. Well, Vic decided to dress up just like Scott McNeil. And if you looked at pictures, you couldn't tell
the difference. Yeah.
Tell who was who.
So true.
That was hilarious.
That's so funny.
That was a great call.
Talent shall have mutual approval of the final appearance schedule, and promoter agrees to provide an advance schedule 2 weeks prior to the event. So again, this is really talking very strict timelines here. This is interesting because if we have, because I saw people on social media saying, well, Maxey never confirmed, Maxey never did this, Maxey blah, blah, blah. This would have had to have been signed well before anything got put to paper on in terms of like advertising and stuff like that, obviously. Because we're talking in the contract, we have at least 2 weeks before the event. We have to have approvals and scheduling and all that stuff. So this is very interesting. Promoter will allow talent and Laves talent booking staff members on site to access the green room. Pretty standard. Promoter will always provide adequate security at the event to ensure personal safety and talent and property. Promoter will not announce until there is approval to announce by representation. All graphics and material must be published and approved prior to avoid professional conflicts. This is an interesting one, 4F. About that. Yeah. So why would here's a stab in the dark. Why would Anime Matsuri follow literally everything up until this point? What would the purpose be for that? Because I could only guess that Maxey is alleging that they violated 4F here by announcing that she was reuniting with Vic or whatever, right? That would be my guess.
Yeah. And when we get to the next page.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at the next page here. Let me pull that one up. One shaking. The termination clause. That's an interesting one. Boop. Termination clause 5. So,
well, actually, I said the last page, but no. Anyway, continue.
Oh, the last page, yes. Termination clause. The terms offered in this agreement shall be valid for the next for the 30 days from the time it was sent, and the promoter must receive confirmation of talent's attendance and permission to advertise no later than 4 weeks before the event. Let me read that again. Promoter must receive confirmation of talent's attendance and permission to advertise no less than 4 weeks before the event, or the offer will be terminated. So now we're up to 4 weeks. 4 weeks before the event. This is an interesting one. So Maxey's alleging that they advertised her incorrectly. They would have had to have confirmation to have this advertisement 4 weeks prior to the event, as per the contract here, or else they would just be terminated. Like she just wouldn't have an appearance. It's provided like, I don't know when she got brought on, but I assume it was a lot earlier than that, because you don't just jam somebody in this last second. But should talent wish to attend the event after the date of termination, the terms may be extended at the promoter's discretion. The promoter has the right to advertise any date they decide appropriate. So again, like the timeline of this is getting very interesting. So I think I don't remember, and I don't exactly know when she got announced as a guest, but all of this stuff seems to have ample time for her to have some kind of pushback on this if it was not approved, which I'm sure it would be approved. I'm sure it would have been approved well before. It was this past weekend. Anime Matsuri is this weekend. It's this weekend. Greetings, Jatis Chill. How you doing? Cancellation. Promoter reserves the right to cancel the event at any time. In the event the show is postponed or canceled, promoter must offer the same terms and conditions at a mutually agreed upon event within a reasonable time frame within 10 months. In addition, the convention will pay out half of the talents guaranteed within 14 days in the event of unforeseen circumstances beyond talent's control, including but not limited to illness, personal or immediate family, or bona fide professional contractual commitments. Talent reserves the right to cancel talent's participation in the event at any time. Should talent cancel talent's appearance at the event, talent shall use best faith efforts to notify promoter at the earliest possible date of such cancellation and shall refund any monies if advanced. This is an interesting one. Another interesting one. I mean, good on them for like, because I know like smaller conventions can't really afford to pay out that stuff, but if Anime Matsuri wasn't able to fire for whatever reason, they're still dishing out $5,000 if they had to cancel early and then rebooking her. That's pretty good. But again, we talked about this at the start of this here. We talked about this at the start here, where Maxey could have used literally any of these excuses, including but not limited to illness, personal or immediate family. So like, could have been said, I'm sorry, like, my partner is sick, I'm sick, my cat's sick, I can't make it out, right? Literally anything at all, but she chose the route that she chose, which was very, very interesting. That's very, very interesting. And I don't think she used best faith efforts to notify the promoter. This is another key part to it as well. Because I mean, I'm not a lawyer, right? But when I'm looking at contracts and stuff that I've written up and stuff that I've advanced to people, this seems like a key piece in the argument for Anime Matsuri was that if she out of nowhere, especially like what the bombshell that you dropped earlier, Stan, that her booking agent didn't even either know or agree to her opinion on this.
No.
That doesn't seem like a best faith effort. That doesn't seem like a best faith effort.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking that there's still a lot of communication that's missing.
Yes. Oh yes.
Prior and after this contract was signed, because there's got to be, because it doesn't explain why the booking agent is up in arms with his talent.
Absolutely. I mean, I could tell you one reason that would be up in arms over your talent doing this is that the talent didn't go through him. Talent didn't include him on this decision or this communication. It went around him, if I had to guess. That would probably be probably be a good reason. I don't know personally. I'm excited to see what comes out of this because Jadis, and I know that we're black-pilled over the courts, but you hope that Matsuri goes after her. There is something coming. I don't know what it is. As far as I know, there is going to be a video, whether it's going to be a live stream or whether it's going to be a documentary style video. I'm not entirely sure, but from what I'm hearing in my rumblings and connections is that there is going to be a YouTuber that is going to cover this. Far bigger than me, far more important than me. And they will be covering this, and it will be including a number of individuals. that are close to the situation, and it will be including everything. And when I initially found this out, and I criticized John for not going scorched earth, well, I didn't criticize him. I said, if this happened to me at this point, we're talking 7 fucking years after the fucking initial shit with Vic happened, we still have people pulling this shit 7 fucking years later to hold conventions hostage because they have Vic Mignogna as a fucking guest. I would go scorched fucking earth on these people. And so like I criticized John at the beginning for not just dropping the contract and all of the information immediately. Like maybe he was thinking about going for lawyers. I don't know. Again, I tried to reach out to him. It's literally convention weekend. So I didn't get an answer back by the time of this broadcast. If I do get an answer back, or if I get the opportunity to talk to John, then I will definitely have a follow-up to this. But from what I understand, he's going to be having a conversation with a YouTuber that's going to be covering this. And so I'm guessing that all that might be waiting until he talks to that person and gives that big spotlight to what he has to talk about. So he's on social media. He's been very open that he has all the receipts, that he has all the conversations, and he's willing to share them. So I really, really hope that he does, because again, this shit is just outrageous. We're talking 7 years later after the fact that this shit is still happening. Out freaking rageous, man. Out freaking rageous. Travel standards. Hotel must be approved by the talent or talent booking representative upon checking in. Talent has a room with faulty air conditioning, warped bed. I've never seen that before. That's funny. Unclean room, presence of insects or mold. Have you ever been in a hotel that had a warped bed?
No, but I've been in a hotel room where it had a in the main bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, when it was 2-story.
Oh, okay.
How have you been in a hotel that it was 2 stories? And then in the bedroom it had a huge jacuzzi bath and a platform and a pole.
Oh, one of those rooms.
One of them rooms. Now, I've been in hotel rooms where the room smelled moldy.
Okay.
And musty.
Yeah. Yeah. The promoter will assist in the immediate change of the hotel room if any of that's there. Promoter will not assist, make the change personally due to overloaded workload. That's interesting. Promoter will be financially responsible for any costs incurred during the change of the hotel room with the talent. Promoter and talent booking representatives will work on finding a solution to fix any hotel issues that might materialize. And B, in the event of weather/delays, flight cancellations, convention transport mishaps, the impact and a talent of arrival at a show or return home mid-travel, regardless of it being on the way to a show or departing a hotel. The promoter will be responsible for 1 night past originally agreed stayed upon. This can include a hotel stay during a connection or layover. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice, like extending that combination.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It does happen.
Yeah. Grant of rights. So talent hereby grants promoter the right and license worldwide in any and all media to use talent's name, voice, and or approved likeness or together likeness developed for or in connection to at the event. Purpose of promoting promoter and the event. Promoter hereby agrees the promoter to use likeness shall be strictly limited to non-commercial use only. For the avoidance of doubt, the promoter shall not authorize third-party use of the likeness. Furthermore, promoter shall have the right to use all photos and or videos derived in connection with the event, including those containing talent on promoter's website, social media platforms, printed materials, promotion of the event or future events talent is scheduled for, or any other use would require approval by talent. So there's a lot being said here. And this is actually something that has come up weirdly for events that I've ran in the past. So Stan, are you able to decipher this a little bit before I dive into it?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll add some.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, from what I'm gathering this, and this is just, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't discern legally speaking here. But basically, in order to promote Anime Matsuri, for example, you're going to Anime Matsuri, you want to promote your image saying, I'm going to Anime Matsuri. In order to use their logo, their official logo, without there being any sort of dispute, you have, like, the convention has to grant the license to use that logo and the license to use your likeness and connection to them to make sure blah, 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 blah. And all of that stuff is for non-commercial use. So you can't just be like, I'm going to slap Anime Matsuri's logo on like a Chick-fil-A and do a promotion with Chick-fil-A and get paid for that. You can't do that. That's not what the license is for. Strictly for saying, I'm going to go to this event and do the thing there. Now, weirdly enough, this is a two-part thing. We had an issue at Kitchener Comic-Con many years ago where we had a cosplayer as a guest way back in the day, way back in the day. And years later, she wasn't a guest. She had a falling out of the convention, whatever else. She didn't like the owner, whatever, who cares? And there was an archived page on the original website that still had a page from the guest list from like 7 or 8 years previously that had her advertised as a guest that you can only go to if you knew the exact page to go to. And so she tried to come after us saying that we didn't have the right to promote her as a guest and she was going to sue us because we had her advertised as a guest on our website. When we never did. It was literally an artifact of whatever was weird happening on the website. So another issue that we had come up was when we were doing the advertising for Vic. Weirdly enough, we were using past videos that we took at the convention, past photos that we took at the convention, etc., like as the convention, and we had rights to use those because of this very thing that we're talking about in here. So when you're at a convention and the convention is taking video, B-roll for whatever, photos for whatever, etc., they have the authorization to use that footage. They have the authorization to use those photos. Any photos that they take for their social media page, they can use those. They don't need your permission by default, which is something that people don't really understand. Because, and it goes further. Like, I mean, you're talking about guests now. If you're taking photos of guests, it's directly in your contract now that you're taking photos specifically and for the guests. But if you're taking a photo and has a guest in it, that could be used in promotional materials, etc., etc.
Yep.
But you can't take a photo. It's like I can't take a photo of Vic, right? If he's at my convention, I can't take a photo of Vic and then take that Vic photo and then use it as a thing to promote something else that doesn't have Vic associated with it. That's a no-no, and that's what this grant of rights is for. To give the talent the protections and like the boundaries for the convention, what they can use the photos of that for, and when they're promoting them and when they should be promoting them, etc. It was a very long and arduous argument with this doughhead about how we weren't advertising her as a guest. It was clearly on a page that said like 2010 and it was like 2017 when we were talking about it. It's like, look, you're clearly not a guest at this year's convention. And we found out that the reason that it kept, because we would constantly delete the page, and then a couple days later it would constantly mysteriously come back out of nowhere. And we'd found out that there was a person that was doing some back end stuff for us at the time that was trying to sabotage the convention, and he kept putting the page back on and then giving people the link to go to it, which was really interesting. Also pro tip, don't do that if you're ever mad at a convention, because that can land you in some serious shit too. Very, very bad thing to do. So, yeah.
Yep. And my advice to convention owners: be aware of your own convention.
Absolutely.
Be the master of every department in your organization, and also have keys to get in to various things if you need to fix something if someone decides to do that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Fortunately, trusting people can be a very dangerous decision, and it can lead to a lot of very, very long nights and very long days of bullshit that you have to deal with. So definitely understand like what programs you're using. If you're deciding to go the old school route and programming it yourself by hand, if you're going for the new school route and you're using some of the programs that do all the stuff for you, understand and know the ins and outs of it, and don't just leave it to somebody and be like, here you go, here's the keys, I'm going to trust you, because that can backfire significantly in your face.
Make yourselves the grand admin
yes.
of the website.
Exactly. And log everything is important too. Log everything, for Pete's sakes.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of like what the grant of rights is for, just kind of protecting that stuff. And we had cosplayers that tried to claim that we were using their images illegally and stuff like that. It's like, well, sorry to tell you, but you know, all the signs we had up on the venue everywhere saying that your photo and likeness could be taken at any point in time and you can be used for whatever else. Sorry, but it's there. We don't have to ask you explicit permission like we do with the talent, because we have specific agreements with talent.
Yep.
Sorry that
and, usually on your badges.
Yep.
Well, at least my shows, on the back of the badge was the verbiage. You know, if you do not agree to these terms, you know, then you can turn in your badge and leave the show.
Exactly. It's like you're giving permission. Generally at conventions, you are giving permission by existing in the space. You can revoke your permission by turning your badge in and leaving. That's how you can revoke your permission very easily. And people don't really understand that for some reason. They think that anywhere they go in public means that they can just be free and not have their photo taken, I guess. I don't know. Very strange thing.
Yeah, but then, you know, they don't say anything about the other con attendees taking your photos.
Right.
Videos of you.
Yeah. No, they want that. They want people to take their photo. They want the right people to take their photo.
Yeah, they're still not getting paid.
Exactly. They're not getting money. No. That reminds me, oh my God, just as a side tangent, very briefly. I haven't talked about this in years, but I remember back when I was first starting as in the convention stuff, and there was a very popular cosplay artist. So he wasn't assigned by the show. He wasn't affiliated with anybody. He was just a dude that had access to a camera and a bunch of underage girls that were very happy to have him pay attention to them and give them free photography. I remember coming across him, asking cosplayers to disrobe portions of their cosplay, because he ran a ring of a side business where he would take explicit photos in very awkward positions of cosplayers' feet. So he would ask them to remove parts of their costumes, and he would have them sit in a way that he would take photos of their feet with upskirt positions, and he would sell their photographs to other weirdos online. And so I had heard that he was obstructing the convention area by doing this with one person. And I had found out that the person that he was doing it to was a minor. She was 14 years old. And he was asking her to take her shoes off so he could take photos of her feet. And I kindly asked him to remove himself from the convention. And the following year, instituted a policy that cosplay photographers, if they wanted to take photos on site and whatever else, they had to do them in very specific areas so that we had them monitored, that we had spaces that were predetermined for them so we could easily monitor them. And number two, instituted rules that they were not allowed to ask them to remove any part of their cosplay for whatever reason. If the cosplayer wanted to remove a piece of their cosplay, like a helmet or whatever else, or whatever, fine. But the photographers were not allowed to ask them to disrobe any portion of their cosplay. And he was extremely, extremely upset with that. Can't imagine why. But yeah, it's very, very freaking weird stuff that we have to deal with in conventions. Have you? I dare ask, have you ever had anything like that happen, Stan?
No, that's the first. But the the things that we've had to deal with in regards to photographers and cosplayers is being in people taking their photos in the worst places.
Yep.
In the con and obstructing traffic flow and causing all kinds of issues.
Yep. Oh, that was another thing too. We put a clause in there saying that they weren't allowed to take them away from the convention. They had a photo shoot. They had to do it on site in one of the predetermined areas because there was an issue where they were just taking them to a completely different venue. Why not? Didn't the photographer get outed for something? Yes, actually. There was something I actually covered on this channel too. He was grooming an individual for a number of years. He got outed for grooming a minor for a number of years. And I had that conversation. I probably still have the VOD up somewhere. But really, really fucking creepy guy that got protected by the cosplay community for a very, very long ass time. And then they had the same people who were protecting him, same people who were deflecting all the bullshit that he was doing, and also feeding people to him, which is disgusting, by the way, were the same people that were attacking us for having Vic at our show and criticizing Vic Mignogna, which I found was extremely ironic because considering Vic hadn't done anything and this guy was actively doing things that apparently a number of people knew about in the community and were just covering up. Pretty wild stuff. But I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly what happened. I know that he did kind of get caught and exposed for selling people's photos. And I think that was what people were more upset about over everything else, which is it goes to show you they were more upset that their photos were being sold and they weren't making money off of it than the fact that this dude was grooming minors and selling sexually explicit photos of cosplayers to weirdos, randoms online. Like very fucking weird.
Which is probably more illegal than
tiny bit.
Yeah.
But here we are. we still 7 years later have people coming after Vic for a fucking dad joke and trying to hold conventions hostage, which cosplayers had loved doing that, man. I would expect that. I would expect that from people who just didn't have experience or any sort of relevancy to try and act as bigger than they are. Not really a voice actor like this. It's a bit bizarre to kind of put your entire secondary career on the line here for something as silly as what's going on. So indemnity, promoters shall defend, indemnify, or otherwise hold harmless talent from any reasonable third-party claims, losses, liabilities, damages, costs, and reasonable legal fees arising from any breach by promoter of any warranty or agreement made by promoter hereunder. So up to this part, I don't think I can't see anything that tips me off that Anime Matsuri breached any of this. Which I'm guessing this is because if Anime Matsuri did go out of their way to breach any of these contract standards, this is just saying like you can't sue the talent for backing out or whatever else, or any damages caused by the talent not showing up. Terms of agreement confidential. It is hereby agreed. Specific terms and conditions of the agreement, including but not limited to the financial terms, are strictly confidential and shall not be divulged to any third associates without prior written consent of the promoter, unless talent's representatives or for quote purposes or otherwise required by a law or court order. So I know a number of people online were pointing to this and saying that, oh, well, John's breaking the NDA. John's breaking the NDA by sharing this. Well, no, this is a one-sided NDA for the talent. So the talent is not allowed to share the terms of this, especially the financial terms of this, because that's really important.
Yep.
They're not allowed to go basically shopping around, right? They can't be like, well, right. Anime Matsuri is paying me $10,000. Can you pay me $15 and I'll go to your show on the same day? They're not allowed to do that because that would be a breach of contract and obviously harmful to the convention. So pretty normal agreement to include. You would agree, right, Stan?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We have one more page to look at, which is probably one of the more important pages to look at. I would assume here. It's the last one. There we go. Notices and payments. Notices and payments, if any, shall be made on the last convention appearance day before the end of the show. And this is a signed agreement between Talent Booking, care of Javier Chavez, attention Maxey Gould, promoter Anime Matsuri of Houston, Texas. By signing below, promoter and talent accept and agree to all terms and conditions of this agreement. So I would assume that these are auto pens. Probably just, sign here you go, sign the PDF form, send it back to us. Pretty standard practice. Guessing that's John's signature on the top there. And I would assume here is that Javier sends this contract to Maxey and says, hey, look this over. Good contract. You're going to get lots of good money out of this. Give it a sign, send it back to me, and we'll go. Now, this was signed and dated on July 19th, 2026. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So this was signed and dated because we talked about a lot of dates.
Mm-hmm.
So this was finalized on the 19th. So I'm guessing that Anime Matsuri made the announcement of the reunion on the 19th. Like somebody had mentioned that earlier. And then on the 20th, Maxey makes the post. Now, why would that happen? Why would that happen? That's very interesting. One day later, after the agreement is signed, literally 6 days before the convention, we have Maxey making a post backing out of a contract she signed literally 24 hours previously. I would assume that all of this agreement, like all of these agreements had been made, and then yes, okay, great, here it is. Boom, we'll have the advertisement. We're getting you in here. Have the announcement. 24 hours later, we have Maxey pulling out. Is that reasonable time for? I mean, with less than a week before the convention, is that a reasonable time? Do you think, Stan, for a convention to be able to remove posts, or like even consider removing posts, or having a conversation about removing posts?
Like I said, it would depend on what the back and forth was like.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have think that the convention put up the post and then it stews overnight, and then no telling who was watching.
Mm-hmm.
And then made a contact with Maxey.
Because, like, for me,
I think that certain individuals,
yeah,
and I don't know for sure, basically said, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
you are not allowed to associate yourself with this person."
Absolutely. And what's really weird about this entire situation. Put that up the screen. Good. We got the dates. Got the deets. Really weird. What's really weird about this entire situation is that it's less than 24 hours. I'm sure her phone started ringing immediately as soon as that post went up. As soon as the post went up, I'm sure it started ringing off the hook. I don't know who called. I don't know who texted. Don't know who emailed. Don't know. This is a knee-jerk reaction from Maxey. Maxey, I don't know how many conventions she goes to or how many situations she's been in. But as stated before, this, like, oh, you ambushed her into being into this. You're going to a convention that has for years had Vic Mignogna as a marquee individual at the convention. You share a very famous anime role with him. You're tied in with him, literally playing his brother on screen. Whether, I mean, they likely have never sat in the same voice recording studio and recorded, because that's not how it works. But like thematically, you're tied to him, regardless if the convention comes out and advertises you together with him or not. People are putting that together. People are putting those pieces together. Like, wow, we have Alphonse and Edward Elric at the same convention. There's going to be a Full Metal Alchemist panel. Like, of course, they're not going to hold separate panels for two fucking voice actors for the same thing. Makes zero sense. No. So, like, knowing all of this, why would you fucking even bother signing up for it? If you already know, oh my God, from my perspective, if I already know, I don't want to deal with that person, right? I don't want to deal with Vic. Number one, why would I go into his backyard, into his convention, and sign a fucking paper saying that I want to work with him, and then a day later say I don't want to work with him? What's the fucking point here? What's the fucking point here? Like, it makes literally zero sense to me. You take the money, it's all good, and then you get rang up, right? You get rang up by someone. The horse head is in your fucking bed when you wake up. Gotta back out. And then not only do you not just be like, I can't make it, I'm sick. I can't make it, my dog died. I can't make it, my grandmother broke her hip fucking going down a ski hill. I don't fucking know. Any excuse whatsoever that could be valid. You come up with the excuse that we showed at the freaking top here. You come up with this bullshit. It's on the screen right now. You come up with this bullshit. Saying that's a huge claim that Anime Matsuri broke the contract by advertising with Vic. You literally went to his convention to sign up for it.
Yep. There's got to be some additional back and forth prior to them signing this, because I'm looking at, and I'm not sure how reliable the site is, but for Maxey, her last convention that she attended, which she also canceled.
Oh, interesting. We have a history.
It was 2015.
2015. Oh my God.
This person had a guarantee of $10,000 and she got spooked by something. That's $10,000 that all she had to do was put up with do the convention thing.
Shake the hands,
didn't have to
take the photos.
The entire day with Vic, stuck to his hip the entire weekend. No. She had her own time by herself. She could have interacted with fans, increase her own base.
Yeah.
But she chose not to, for whatever reason.
She was at an event last week in Dallas. I think what Stan means is that she's an advertised guest. So like there's different, and I will clarify, because I made a statement earlier as well. There's two different kinds of appearances that people can do. Now, being an official guest at a convention, an advertised guest at a convention, is definitely something. What you can also do is you can co-opt a table and sign autographs. You can go to a card shop and sign autographs. You can set up a folding chair on the corner of your lawn and sign autographs if you wanted to. Those generally are not advertised events, and they're not advertised guest appearances. Yeah. And so I had mentioned that Vic had gone to Fan Expo in Toronto, and he was not an advertised guest at Fan Expo. But he did go and use part of a vendor's area to sign autographs, from what I understood. And so
he was invited by a vendor.
Yeah, it was by a vendor.
To sign their booths. So I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time.
All the time, literally all the time. Yeah. Because the vendors can use their space however they want to. Like, some vendors pay for a massive amount of area and they don't need it, and so they rent out spaces to other people or what have you. That's allowed as long as it's within the rules of what you're allowed to do there.
Yep.
And so, but if you bring in someone to sign autographs, they're not an advertised guest, and so it wouldn't necessarily show as a thing, right? Mm-hmm. So you're looking at her talent agency's Instagram. She says she was at something last week. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I can't imagine she's gone like 10 years or 11 years without going to literally anything at all. But she's also not a huge name, right? She's not a world-moving name. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's not getting a lot of invites and she has to take table scraps. Like, that might be a thing. Yeah.
Yes, and this probably would have been the best gig she would have had in a long time.
A very long time.
Yeah. Particularly if she wasn't had to share it with anybody else.
Yeah.
So, which seems to happen a lot with that crowd, is they would get multiple bookings, mm-hmm. and invited to shows, and you're not getting the full attention like you would have gotten with this getup. Well,
and this would have been a big deal too. This would have been a big deal. Hey, Sweet Pea, thank you so much for that raid. Appreciate it. Because like, how many times are you going to have two actors from a very popular anime together at a convention, right? It doesn't happen a ton of times. It's usually a big deal when it happens. So like, she's gonna make bank. She may have actually made more than her guarantee.
Yep.
Just how often do fans get to see her? Oh, I agree. I agree, Little Rocks. Like, it's not the point if she goes to cons or not. It's just it's the degree of how much money she is making is a ridiculous difference. If she goes to a strip mall and goes to like a little county fair thing in a strip mall, and she has like a little table set up and no one knows her. I'm just saying as an example. You might get 50 people that show up and like, oh wow, I know that anime, cool. When you go to an anime convention specifically tailored to anime, and you're there with one of the titular characters, alongside one of the titular characters that you played alongside, and everyone is there. A lot of people are there specifically because they're fans of Full Metal Alchemist. You are getting maybe 5,000-6,000 people in your line for the weekend, and they're paying you, as opposed to 50, which is exponential. It's an exponential difference. Because that's a big thing about these conventions, is that's the big selling point, is that you get a lot of very specific clientele in specifically to spend money on autographs. We're not talking about like sports card shows where people go specifically for sports cards and they're not going to buy autographs from people that they have no idea who the hell they are. We're talking about like the difference between going to a one-off shot tiny show that might entirely get 500 people and Anime Matsuri, which is probably going to get like, I don't know how much, like 25,000 people, probably more, I had to guess. I'm lowballing it, but probably in that number.
Well, let's just look for her to meet her guarantee with stated prices of
$40,
just $40 for an autograph, just a low tier, just $40 for an autograph. That's 250 people.
250 people. I think she could make 250 people very happy at that event very easily in the first day.
Yes. And Anime Matsuri is kind of like a 3.5 day convention.
Yeah. And she was booked for all 3 days. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And like, if you took the amount of time, like if she spent the amount of time that Vic spends with every single person, she would probably triple her guarantee.
Yep.
With the amount of people that she would see, potentially.
Yep.
Because like, they're obviously going to go get an autograph from Vic. And she's there, so she's going to get the runoff too. Because like, obviously you have a chance to get your picture of the brothers signed together, your picture, like, or your DVD cover, and get both voice actors from like the main voice actors for the show. Of course you're going to get both of their autographs if you can.
Absolutely. Particularly if I've seen people bring in wall scrolls to Vic signing, and they've gotten other people's autograph on top of that, and they just need Vic's to fill out that their card of all the signatures.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it is such a complete confounding decision by Maxey here. And if this is like strictly, I'm going to stand on moral business, internet moral business, this is the dumbest decision she's ever made. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this talent agent was probably like needing a new set of fucking sheets after signing this contract, because it's printing fucking money for him. Like, I guess he gets a percentage of what she gets out of it, because obviously, like, why would you have a talent booking agency otherwise? But he's looking at this like a fucking payday. He's getting paid. And so what you mentioned earlier is that he's furious over this. He's up in arms. I can't wait to see if there's going to be, again, from what I've heard, there appears to be a YouTuber that has been chosen by John that he's going to, and it will be including individuals involved in this. There's going to be a video, whether it's a live video, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a documentary style thing. I have no idea. I don't have any details. I would love to try and find it, try and get some details out there, get it out to you guys, let you know what's coming down the pipe. Timeline for it, no idea. But again, I've mentioned this a few times. Tried contacting John. It's literally Anime Matsuri right now, so like, I'm not expecting anything back from him. Haven't heard anything back from him. So, but if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know immediately. And if I'm able to talk to John, I would love to have John on for the show as well. But if he's planning on doing this bigger YouTuber, that's probably a massive priority for him, obviously, in this situation.
Yeah.
But again, like, I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to go through the contract here, and it looks like a normal contract. Like, I don't see anything that sticks out. That's, I mean, this is pretty again, way more in depth than what I've been seeing. And a lot of it is probably because of the stuff that they've had to deal with in the past, I would assume. But like, again, like, I wanted to bring you on, Stan, to get your insight into this too, because you've seen a ton of contracts. And like, so what's your thoughts like on this? Does anything stand out to you as being odd or unusual?
I mean, the timing of it all.
Yeah, the timing's weird.
Is and I think that's probably why she went the route she did.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably more to it. And like DT here says, if I was thinking, if I had a guest that had that problem, well, actually, I did have a similar type guest that had that kind of problem. I would have worked it out. I would
Yeah.
have talking to the person and said, look, just don't buckle. Just come. Everything will be fine. Let us know who it is that's causing this. I mean, if you're suffering harassment, let us know who it is.
Yep.
What it's about. Share anything that you received. Fighting is probably, or ignoring it would be the best.
Oh yeah, thing. Entirely. Yeah.
But also sharing it with other people to let them know, hey, this is what's going on. Is it going to be a problem for the show? In the case of me and John, it would be a big no.
Yeah.
We would have your back. We would take care of you. It might include some additional stuff that we have to take care of, but I would not include that. I would take care of it and not include it in the contract, so that you would not face any extra financial problems associated with these weirdos. Yeah, that's what I've done. I probably would have added maybe an extra person to her detail. Because usually, like I said, they have a guest relations person assigned to them to look after them. And in this case, if she didn't have anybody to help her with her stuff, that might be that person or an additional person to help with handling the money, and while she dealt with talking to the fan and signing the autographs,
exactly,
taking photos, or that person will assist with helping with taking photos, and so there's still a lot missing from this. And it only just makes us speculate even more that something was.
Well, and like Blight Blazer is pointing out, like it likely we don't know if it was a conversation that happened, but adding addendums, which is what Stan was mentioning, like adding things to the contract and being like, let's update the contract, let's amend things, let's add addendums, modify the contract so that we can have this, so that we can operate safely, right? Because, like, obviously, I'm not sitting here and being like, we don't want Maxey at the event, right? I'm not, like, I want to see the fans have a great time at any event, period. I want fans to have a good time. And I think Maxey being at the event would have been maximizing the, no pun intended, the fan experience, right? It would have been the best fan experience for people. They could have had tailored events specifically for Full Metal Alchemist, what have you, great interaction for people, and they can go their separate ways afterwards. We're not sticking them in a booth right next to each other. We're not like doing all that stuff. Like we're not forcing them to do like song and dances together, right? And like, and again, yes, exactly, the rocks. I don't think she gave the con enough time to do anything at all. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction, and it's ripe for speculation, number one, because she didn't share any information. She didn't share the contract. She couldn't, to be fair. She couldn't. I mean, she was breaking the agreement anyways, so I guess she probably could have. Yep. But she didn't share any conversations, nothing. And so, to be fair, and I will full disclose, I didn't reach out to Maxey because I'm not like, if she wants to talk to me which I'm a nobody and she doesn't want to talk to me anyways, but if she wants to tell her side of the story, open invite to come on the show here, and I will give her as much time as I've given everybody else. For those of you who don't know, well, that's what I'm saying. For those who don't know, I'm not affiliated with Anime Matsuri. I'm not affiliated with John Lay. I'm not affiliated with her talent booker. I'm not affiliated with her. In the past, in the whole Vic scenario, when things were in the massive heat of the Kick Vic, I Stand with Vic stuff, in the heat of the court case, I actually had Ron Toye on for a series of interviews on this channel, on this very podcast. Like,
oh God.
Like, I'm not against having people who are opposing me. I'm not against people who have who have divergent views from what I have. Right? People who don't like what I like to say. I love having conversations with people. Right? Because I love having that discourse, because that's when you learn things. I didn't reach out to Maxey because I don't want to be a harassing influence or like whatever. I don't want to be accused of harassing her. I don't want to be accused of piling her on. I'm sure she's already got a fucking ton of messages. I'm sure she's already got a ton of people up her ass. If she wants to reach out and talk about it, I am more than happy to give her time to talk about it and give her space to talk about it. And we can, because I would love to know what led to this decision and what have you. If John wants to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to John. I've reached out to John because I was hoping to get a contact. I was hoping to get in a copy of the contract. I'm happy he posted it. But apparently, there's more. There's conversations. There's emails. There's text messages. What have you. All of that stuff, which he is willing to share. He's posted that he's willing to share this stuff, and so I'm excited to see what comes from that, because like I want to get to the bottom of this, because it reeks, and I speculating is something that it's the only thing that we can do right now, because we only have a certain amount of information. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
So it reeks of third-party influence. It reeks of the old Funimation mafia going after Maxey. And now, knowing that Maxey is a current performing voice actor for a Dragon Ball title is also like, that's interesting. That there might be some people in that circle of influence that are kind of yanking at her only other role currently, if that's her most modern role and something that she's clinging on to. That is interesting, right? There's smoke there. Yep. And I implore to Maxey, if this somehow gets across your desk and you somehow sit through the 2 hours of listening to this podcast, I implore you, be the first one of these fucking voice actors to fucking stand up for yourself and fucking say enough is enough. Because I have talked to countless voice actors, some of whom have come on my channel, some of whom have not, and some of whom I've only had conversations with, and they don't want their names to be mentioned. I won't mention any of them. But the point is, I've had plenty of people who have been bulldozed and pushed into a corner and pressured by these groups of people. And they are doing nothing but costing you money. They're doing nothing but costing you roles. They're holding you back. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourselves, for fuck's sakes.
Yep.
Take a stand. Because you're just literally pissing money away. All you have to do is the same thing that you've done literally every other time that you've gone into the old Funimation offices, every other time you've gone into the voice recording studios and grinned and bared it through people that you just can't fucking stand. You act nice. You do your job. You're professional. You go home. You never talk to them again. It's all you had to do. $10,000 minimum payout. All you had to do.
Yep.
And now...
And what you do at the convention doesn't involve them.
Doesn't involve them.
Doesn't involve them at all.
No.
And if they ask you what you did, it's like, oh, I just stayed at home.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't go to a convention? No, I didn't go to a convention.
No.
And if I did, it's none of your damn business.
Exactly. Do you think that, what was his name? I gotta look him up. Do you think that any of those people that potentially went after Maxey are up the ass of any of the other voice actors there? Let's see. Let me find somebody real quick.
I don't know. I mean, we hear, I hear from certain ones that, and it's usually the other female voice actors that they constantly get reminded that, Vic lost his case. I won. Da 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 da.
Technically, nobody won because it never actually went to court and just got settled.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Basically, trying to find the group of them that were there. A lot of pictures of the same dude. Photos of the same guy. All right. Off the top of your head, Stan, do you know anybody that's at the convention right now other than Vic? I'm trying to buy some time until I can find that photo.
Let me go look it up.
It's like I want to pull a name and pull the chat and see if there's any remote possibility that people are in their DMs, in their phones, threatening their voice acting careers. Because I guarantee you the answer is no. But Ruben Langdon. Do you think anybody is in Ruben Langdon's DMs right now telling him that he will never work again because he's at a convention with Vic Mignogna? Just putting it out there. Anyone. Voice actor for Chris Redfield, by the way. Pretty.
Richard Epcar is there.
Yeah. Think anybody's phoning him and telling him that he's going to wake up with a horse head in his bed if he doesn't back out of Anime Matsuri?
He's a big talent, particularly on the West Coast, and no one in the middle is going to boss him around.
Yeah, Ruben's Dante from Devil May Cry. Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't people go at Ruben in the early days, anyways? Yeah. You know what? You know what successful voice actors do? To people who just spew ridiculous bullshit, they just ignore them. Largely, yep. They just ignore them and move on with their lives, and they are professional and they go about their stuff. That's generally what happens.
Dan Southworth, yeah, another one.
Yeah. You think any of these people are fearing their careers are going to be over after this weekend?
Oh, hell no. Brian Badcock. He's out of the Bay Area. He does other stuff. Producer, writer, singer. Hey, he's almost like Vic.
Hey, there you go. My point is here, Maxey, if this somehow reaches you, what are you doing? Like literally, what are you? I mean, at this point, it's far beyond a point of repairing. You've fucked this up so critically that a natural one wouldn't even begin to describe what happened. You've nuked your relationship with your booking agent. You've torpedoed your chances to get invited as a guest to large events. At most, I could see you getting... I don't think there was an advance, Little Rocks. As far as I could tell in the contract, it did not say that there was an advance. At most, she's going to get brought under the wing of some random lunatic from the old Funimation mafia under their talent agency, and she's going to be used as filler talent. Oh, you want to have Chris Sabat at your event? You have to take on all of these nobodies.
And get pittance.
Yeah. And then you get paid 1/10 of what you would have made under your current booking agent because you have no other option. You get paid less than what you'd be making at flipping burgers at McDonald's for the weekend. Because of this decision here. It's very good. Very, very wise decision, unfortunately. Not wise, but you know. But I think for John, again, if this gets to your desk, I implore you to go scorched earth. I don't know John as a person. I have heard many different tales from random morons online about how John is this and how John is that. At the end of the day, guess what? I don't care. Because at the end of the day, Maxey signed the fucking contract.
Yep.
Let me show that again. That's her signature. Maxey signed the contract. He could have literally ate a baby on stage at Anime Matsuri to end the year last year. She still signed the fucking contract. So it doesn't matter what your professional opinion is as a professional online no-lifer of what your opinion of John Lay is, whether he has done things or hasn't done things, who he has or hasn't cheated on. I don't fucking care. The point is, everyone that's there is accepting his fucking money. So your opinion is invalid and it matters literally nothing to the topic. So like, literally get over it. Maxey signed the fucking contract, knowing who was at the anime convention, knowing who owned it. It's like, no one fucking kidnapped her, okay? No one fucking kidnapped her, knocked her out, put her in the back of a fucking car, drove to some fucking warehouse in the middle of Texas, in the middle of the fucking night, blindfolded, then tied her hand to a fucking pen and dragged her auto pen across a fucking paper. Nobody did that, okay? No one did it. Let's be real. Her agent sent her the contract. She looked it over. She saw who was at Anime Matsuri. She knows who the fucking owner of Anime Matsuri is. She lives in fucking Texas. Then she knows all the good and bad stuff about him. So that she still signed on the dotted line. So whatever your opinion is of Anime Matsuri, how it's ran, who runs it, is completely out the fucking window because she took the paycheck. Or she would have taken the paycheck if she didn't completely fucking nuke it.
Yep.
So, there you have it. That's my opinion on it. I am hoping that this video that I'm hearing might be coming. I'm hoping that comes sooner than later. I am hoping that because I don't even know.
Is it going to be live, or are they going
to?
Or are they going to pre-record it, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who's going to be involved in it. I hope that we get to hear multiple sides of the story because I want to hear as much of this as possible. I want as much information to make my own decision about how I should feel about this based on the information in front of me. And I hope we get more of it. I hope it breaks down for us to be able to look at. And like, again, I don't even know how she gets invited to this kind of thing. She doesn't do main roles, like Little Rocks is saying. Got a bunch of minor roles. You looked her up. I don't even know how she gets invited, to be honest, let alone paid guaranteed $10,000. God damn. It's like going to a fucking, it's going to a fucking burger joint right? McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. Going to a very, very famous barbecue burger joint. Being like disgusted that they sell burgers. It makes zero fucking sense whatsoever. So I hope that more information comes out for this to make sense. Because right now it fucking doesn't.
I don't think they felt sorry for her in the least bit. And even more so, they don't feel sorry for her.
Well, I will ask you, Blight Blazer, in the chat. Do you think so? Her most relevant role in her entire history has been Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Her most, from what someone in the chat mentioned, I haven't looked it up. What someone in the chat mentioned, her most recent role was Dende from Dragon Ball. Young Dende. Do you think that young Dende is worth $10,000?
Yep, minor role. I mean, I personally would not have invited her because she only had one major role.
Yeah.
You know, my thing was they needed at least 3.
Yeah.
But given this day and age, there isn't that many people that gets more than one leading role.
Exactly.
If ever.
Exactly.
They all get minor roles. They're not like Monica. They're not like Chris Abbott and Vic. Who else? Todd Habercorn.
Scott McNeil.
Anybody from Oceans Studios. I mean, those folks had lots of leading roles.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah, I wouldn't call her a headliner either. No.
No. But they were, I mean, Anime Matsuri was being very nice and very generous.
I think very generous.
To bring her to the show and you know, just banking on the one role that she's famous for. And she's not even the first one.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm very curious who went to bat for her.
Probably Vic.
Probably. I honestly would not be surprised. And that's how it's repaid. Whew.
I mean, they got the other 2 voice actors for Vampire Knight.
Yep.
You know, another very good show.
Yeah. I saw they were advertising Orin High School as well. I don't know if they have any other VAs for that, but it might just be a Vic thing. But again, like they're advertising stuff that Vic's involved with because they know that he's drawing in people that are fans of these series. Yep. Everyone else that's involved in that series is just printing fucking money because they existed in that show. Like literally it. That's literally like fuck me.
Yep. And so Vic's going to get all the money for Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Because none of the other ones want to be around Vic. They don't have to be around.
Don't have to be
at the same show and make the same amount of money.
Exactly. Literally, don't even need to be in the same room.
Nope. Nope. They could be on either ends of the convention hall.
Yeah. This is baffling. This is just baffling. How could you literally look at $10,000, douse yourself in gasoline and flick a fucking torch, man? I just don't understand it. Just set yourself on fire and fucking roll in the $10,000. I cannot, for the life of me, fucking fathom that. Like,
so if Crunchyroll gets the new Orin High School, which I think it may or may not be in the works, they could do the show without Vic.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean squat because, you know, there are just as many people who'd rather watch the show subtitled.
Exactly. Yeah.
or no subtitles.
Yeah.
You know, boy, those crappy ass people too.
Yeah.
You know, in straight Japanese.
Well, the Japanese voices are just better most of the time.
Yeah, the Japanese voice is always better. But you know, if you have the same cast, that's, you know, and you grew up with that cast, yeah, I understand. But you're not going to have Vic, and they're not going to call Vic back unless that thing gets pulled to a different studio.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen. But yeah.
But like,
I just do it like in the back, and back in the day when I was watching anime, I watched it in straight Japanese. I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about, and I liked it.
Back in the day when we would daisy chain VCRs together and record bootleg anime and then dub it ourselves.
Or we used to subtitle it ourselves.
Yep.
And you hoped you were not at the very end of the chain.
Exactly.
With your VCR.
My goodness. Well,
poor Monica. Oh, that's too bad.
What a shame. Damn. Almost like you don't own those things.
I wonder why. Maybe they caused too much trouble and caused too much waves, brought too much negative attention to the company.
Shame.
Probably not. You know, maybe that didn't have a role in why they didn't get those reprised roles.
It's just amazing. Like, we're talking 7 years later, and here we are back again. It's like it's what sparked me to fire the show up again. Honestly, it's what sparked me to do it, because, like, it honestly. And thank you, Stan, for being available and doing this. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time coming out.
My little reaction is when you asked me about this, and I said, "What drama is happening now?" Because I didn't see anything. Of course, I'm not on Facebook, so I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah. And that is the most bizarre part. Like, I don't know. I don't remember if I'm even in the Anime Matsuri group. I guess I am. I might still be in, but like, I'm like not active on it. It just like popped on my feed. And then I saw that. And then I saw a bunch of websites doing hit pieces on it and like making it all about Vic. It's like, this isn't about Vic. I mean, it is, but it isn't. This is about these weirdos in the background that just keep going. 7 years. What a sad life.
Yep, they haven't moved on.
When you think about it, like, this is how pathetic it is. 7 years is half the lifespan of a lot of these fans that come in that get autographs signed. For half of these fans' lives, you have been obsessing about a fucking person. That is horrific.
Yep.
My God. And my advice to anybody out there, like Monica, Chris Sabat, Jamie Markey, get a fucking life. Move on. I don't know what of anything you're getting out of this. Like, we saw back during the whole Weeb Wars saga, right? Dubbing it that. And like the law Twitter bullshit and whatever else, and the human pylons that lived on Twitter at the time for law Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man that died mid-tweet. He died at his fucking computer mid-tweet. Had a fucking massive heart attack and died. And no one found him for 3 days. Is that what you want your life to be? Is that the legacy you want to leave? Like halfway through an ignorant fucking tweet on Twitter, that's the last vestige you want your legacy to be. 7 fucking years of your lives dedicated to going after someone who is just trying to live his fucking life. Jesus Christ.
Yep. And by the way, he didn't do any of the things that you guys claimed he did.
Absolutely not. He's only guilty of bizarre fashion choices and bad jokes. He's got to find different taste in pants, I got to say.
Well, now that he's no longer living in LA, he doesn't have access to that rock star shop anymore. Yeah, he can find better.
He can find pants with less holes in it than a hockey net. That's good.
Well, those fashion jeans, blatant holes in it, made just to make it more cool.
He also needs to stop ordering shirts off of Temu. I've heard his story about the fishnet shirt.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, yeah. There's that too. Vic, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It is funny. I'm sorry. It was like that one time I who was it? Ken Jennings was on the show,
Yep.
and I said something that got me.
Vic, we love you. And if you are listening, I do regret not being able to help him out back in Toronto. I think it was this year. My workplace rug pulled my vacation request. Could not get the time off. Kicking myself that I wasn't able to go out and help him out. Because I want to see him succeed. I want to see him be successful. I want everyone to be successful. This is the funny part. Like, I want the Maxeys out there to be successful too. Because when they're being successful, that means the fans win. It means the people that pay the paychecks and buy the products and go and buy the autographs and all that stuff, they're having fun. They're having a great time. Yep. And at the end of the day, those people matter. Because you're
a lot more than the bullies.
Exactly. Much more than the bullies. Because they're the ones that will carry on your memory and your legacy. So your legacy can either be a human mound of flesh at a computer screen, hunched over on your keyboard mid-tweet, or your legacy can be a bunch of happy children that grow up to have families and talk about how they had a fantastic experience when they were children. And they grow up to share fandom and grow that. And then they carry on a wonderful memory of you. Your choice to make. At the end of the day, you can sit yourself down and cut off all your opportunities and feed into these weirdos, or you can be your own person, build your own legacy, have control of your own fate. It's a very simple choice for me, honestly, but difficult one for people out there. But
live free.
Exactly. I think we have thoroughly discussed this with the information that we've had so far. If more stuff comes up, I am more than happy to pull another one of these. Maybe we'll make it to episode 100 eventually. We're at 91.
Wow.
I know. Maybe we'll make it to 100 one day. But I'm glad you were able to be a part of this, Stan. It was great having you on. I will leave you with any thoughts if you have any thoughts right now about anything that we didn't cover.
Well, I missed this time we have in talking about these things, going over our past experiences with running a convention, and I do miss it, and then I think, what was so good about it in the long run? But I do miss organizing conventions and stuff like that, and I do get people who ask me to come back and help out, and I do have VAs who also expressed to me that they like coming to my shows more so than certain other people's shows, and I'm like, yeah, we're a dying breed. The rest of them are all damn corporate shields, and but in regards to this incident, I'm like, come on, guys, it's 2026. Let's get over it.
That's what I'm saying, honestly.
Bygones is bygones. Do it for the fans. Forget about these boisterous nobodies. If in fact that this is because of them, live your life. Don't worry about all this negative stuff. Just go there, meet the fans, have a good time, and in the end, you would have made $10,000 or more dollars.
Exactly.
Which definitely would help you out, because you're sure as hell not getting $10,000 rolls.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. My final thoughts on this are this. Right. There are 365 days in the year. 362 of them are dedicated to you. You can take time out of your busy year to dedicate 3 days to your fans. Maxey, this is not about you, and it should not have been about you. It should have been about you giving back to the people that gave you a paycheck, and the people that would have very willingly given you a massive payday for 3 days of work. And you could have gone back to being insignificant for 362 days of the year. This was never about you, and it should never have been about you. I hope this is a very, very important lesson for you moving forward. And I hope it's an important lesson for everybody in this industry. If this was someone who pressured you, if this was someone who bullied you, you're a victim in this, but you chose to be in that position. You had the choice to stand up for yourself, and you chose not to. You chose to bend the knee. You chose to kiss the ring, and it cost you what could very well likely be your entire career. I wish it was different for you. I hope that this wasn't the path that you were hoping it was going to go down. Maybe you thought it was going to be different. But I hope this is a lesson to everybody. And for anyone out there right now who has just been so hyper-focused on the hate and like drama farming and whatever else, life is too fucking short for this shit. 7 years. 7 years. Look back 7 years ago, look where you were, and look at where you're at today. How much have you grown as a person, people viewing this? And if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going up on YouTube after this broadcast. I'm going to cut the intro out. I'm going to cut the intro, put it in, and put it up on YouTube. Anyone on the YouTube comments wants to comment. Look back at yourself 7 years ago and look at yourself today and see how much you have grown. And to anyone out there that is still stuck on attacking Vic or attacking Anime Matsuri for God knows whatever fucking reason. Lord knows I had someone still attacking the Kitchener Comic-Con after its fucking owner died. Do you want to be a person like that? Do you want to be that bitter, disgusting little goblin of a human creature? Or have you grown? Have you gotten better? Have you decided to live your life? That's a choice we all get to make. And choose wisely. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Stan, for being a guest today. It was fantastic.
For having me on.
Absolutely. Anytime. Anytime you have a topic that you are interested in or want to shoot the shit, let me know. Because it's always a wonderful time talking with you, Stan. Great.
Same here.
And viewers,
we should do it more often.
We should do it more often. I agree. Viewers, past, present, future, you guys are why I'm here. Again, for the fans. But if I didn't have you guys watching, if I didn't know that you guys were interested, I wouldn't be doing this stuff.
For the fans. Yeah.
For the fans. So I appreciate all of you being here. You guys are amazing. Oh boy, I haven't said this in a long ass time. Take care, everybody. Keep your stick on the ice. Have a good one.